on the road to Texas. Yep, we are cruising. We are leaving Florida and crossing into Alabama. So currently GPS says around that. It'll definitely be a lot later than that. But
welcome to Alabama.
Thank you. But yeah, fun little trip to go see all the old friends from high school, army, all that good stuff. So should be fun. Looking forward to showing off all the old homes and where we grew up and where I grew up and all that fun stuff. So yeah, let's cruise.
I think I need some nostalgia.
Oh, there we are.
Some guys that
We made it.
Welcome to Texas.
To Texas. Abilene, and over there is where I got my first car. The police auction. So, kind of funny. Alright, let's cruise around. See all the new stuff. I think the Civic Center's coming up here. Yeah, so that's where the rodeo and all that stuff is. So, pretty cool. Alright, focus on driving. Gotta be safe. Oh, and the airport. Alright, so made it into Abilene. Can't check in to the hotel till 1. Meeting Silva and some of the other fellas around 12:30. So what to do in between now and then? I don't know. I guess we're gonna figure that out. So I am going to just drive around and see if we can spot any places I recognize. I'm going to turn the GPS off. I have a few places that I remember. I think I remember. So we're going to just give that a shot and see what we come up with. Weird. This place is weird. It's changed. It's changed a whole lot. And I don't know how I feel about it. But some things remain the same. But a lot of things are different. So it takes some adjusting for sure. Alright, so this was kind of an area where we hung out a little bit. There's Rosa's Cafe. Definitely going to stop and eat there and have those handmade tortillas every day. Got my first Carhartt jacket right there. I think I got a hat too from there. Obviously it's now Sleeping Giant, which is not where I got a hat from, but used to have a hat there. I think down the road is a Tractor Supply. Yep, Tractor Supply down there. And this here was my Walmart growing up, so definitely got to go get a fig hunt in my old original Walmart, that's for sure. Check that out. We'll leave that for the toy channel though. But, that wasn't there, but this was here. Just looked a little different. Had a lot more fish tanks, things like that. So let's get on inside. Currently just cruising around the old Mall of Abilene. Just doing some laps right now, checking it out. Need to take a picture to send to old BJ. Oh, come on. Let's see if I can get my phone out. Definitely has changed. Again, like everything else, just like a ton. It's wild. How much it's changed. Like there's a hospital in here now. I'm sure that was like a Dillard's or something. The movie is still on the other side, so that's pretty cool. I really didn't think that would survive, but movies is still here, so maybe if I have the time, maybe I'll get weird and go see a movie at that old theater. I never really saw a ton of movies there. In fact, I think the last movie I saw was with Danny McBride, Natalie Portman. It's like a night movie, and it was kind of crappy. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll go check it out. But just cruising around the mall. Chewy's, none of that was there. Just weird, just so weird. I know I keep just repeating that, but it's nice to see some of the bones. Some of the bones are still here, and I do appreciate, and that really makes the trip worth it to see some of those things. And in like 2 hours I'll go see some old high school friends I haven't seen in 20 years, so can't beat that. Alright, so over here is one of the places I lived. Not entirely sure which one. I do know that my bedroom overlooked the pool, so really I just gotta find the pool and then I can figure it out, right? That seems logical. Looks like the pool might be over here, or it used to be over there, I don't know. Let's see, seems like it might be coming up here. No, I feel like it was an outer side one. But, yeah, this is where me and Uncle BJ used to live. Super strange. Not at the same time, but, you know. I want to say it was like... God, was it over here? It's hard to tell. This was pretty young. The only reason I can remember is I remember playing in the pool and looking up and seeing my figures over the pool. Alright, so I'm going to drive around a little bit and see if I can't find the exact spot and then kind of pop back on. Okay, can't be for sure, but if this is the pool, then that would have meant that was my room. Of course, I remember the pool being a lot bigger, but maybe it wasn't. But for sure, if that was the pool, then that had to be my room, which meant that this was my apartment, so interesting. And this is one of my first jobs. It's right here at good old Olive Garden. I remember used to park like right here in my old Camaro, my 86 piece of you know what Camaro, and sweat my butt off all the way from Clyde to come be a busboy here during the summer before football season started. But look at there, Raising Cane's, honey. See, I could have worked, and then you could have come and visited me at work and got some Raising Cane's. Look at there, it could have all worked out. Yeah, let's see. And then over here, interesting, it used to be the #1 theater was right here in this building. The Northern Tool Equipment building was a theater, and then the Century came and kind of obviously took it over, and then it was the mall, this one, the Century, and then this finally just died off. Obviously, I think it died off before I even graduated high school, but yeah, that was an old theater right there. See how tall? It's not even that tall. That's how movie theater. That's how movie theaters used to be, just normal things with tiny little screens. But that's where it was. Alright, well I think I'm gonna head back to the hotel, hang out there for a little bit, and then go meet up with some friends. Because I've driven all over this area. I'm trying not to like go into the mall or anything, because I really want to just devote time into that. So pretty interesting, and no GPS, just driving around, just cruising around. Alright, be back in a bit. Alright, time to go get some dinner. Finished up hanging out with some old high school friends, Sean, Clint, Eric, Russell, and Scott. Some of those guys I haven't seen in literally 20 years, so really cool. Wow, that was kind of more than I expected, to be honest. And yeah, that kind of made the 17-hour drive worth it just for that, to hang out with them, have drinks, and just share a whole lot of remember wins for sure. So now it's time to go get some roses. Alright, time to eat some roses. Truth be told, I have no idea what I'm getting into. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and sure, why not? Pretty good. Well, I got a thing of tortillas there, bean burrito, so fajitas. Pretty good time, so we'll get into it, but again, haven't had this in 20 years, so yum yum, get you some. Oh, alright, all done with dinner. Well, I guess it might be another 20 years until I'm back at old Rosa's. Wasn't a major hotspot for us in high school, probably because it was a little too expensive, but we did hit it a few times, so glad to be back. And now I think it's time to go back to the hotel, catch up on my 2 hours of sleep, rock out this hangover, and get some sleep. So we'll see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's time for some carne. Let's go. Smell of this makes no sense. Ugh. Been like 18 years. Let's get it. Heading over, go see Russ at work, bring him some grub, and then we're off to Clyde to mess around there. Alright, made it to old Clyde, and this was one of those funny ones where I remember walking all the way from my house to over here. That was a girlfriend's house at the time, and back in the day you used to have to walk if you wanted to go see your girlfriend. I remember putting in the Walkman, putting on some Metallica on repeat, hoping the batteries lasted, and walking this whole way. God, it had to be a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, I don't know. I guess I should look. So I'm at 3594. 35949. So, alright, so basically start there. Alright, we'll come back and see how far it actually was. Alright, so almost there. So definitely over 1.5 miles. Still cruising, we're still not quite to the old house yet. Should be coming up here on the right. Let's see. I'll just come back when I find it. There it is. Definitely changed a little bit for sure, but yeah, pretty cool. Obviously haven't been here in 25 years probably, so definitely a little different. Go ahead and cruise on back. Remember sitting at that window waiting for the bus, because that thing, God, it seemed like that was like a mile away. That's the crazy part. From the window to the road seemed like it was so far, but it's clearly just right there. But alright, time to cruise on down 604, and maybe we'll go to the high school, or the old junior high, which was the old high school. Check it out. Keep on driving. Oh, there's my boy, old Welch's, Garrett Welch, Tasha Welch, Landon, not Landon, Grayson, all them. It's their old house, and somewhere up here on the left, I'm sure it's not there anymore. It was Chester's house, Chester Chapman. He lived down here on the left, coming into town. So good dude there, Chester. I don't think there's really anything else on this road specifically, so I'll pop back on for a different spot. Well, this is all different. This wasn't here, I don't think. This overpass, so this is taking us somewhere different. I mean, shit, I'll get there. So it used to just round about and catch on to this. So like all this seems new. If there was a different road to get here. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I gotta figure it out. We're back on track now. So coming up on the old elementary. I think this is the elementary. Old elementary / junior high / high school. So I think back over here was the choir room. Back there, those were the choir buildings. This wasn't here. That was there. but this wasn't here. That right there is the old cafeteria back there. Yeah, this was the old elementary, so... Oh, Silva's calling. Better answer that. Make sure I wasn't dead after last night. But yeah, that's the old elementary. Let's go ahead and cruise around. Assuming this isn't... Well, obviously it's not being used anymore. Doesn't look like for anything. I think the old high school is still being used. But could be wrong. There's some old classrooms right here. So that was science was right here. So then we would always, this is where we'd hang out. Wow, that's crazy. So we'd hang out before class right over there, play wall ball on the other side. Just hang out over here. Here's the gym. This is the old gym. And I want to, did we do a time capsule or something? But we used to like plant stuff over here for one of like the science classes. And I wanted to say we did some kind of thing over there. Yep, so that's all the gym entrance for the junior high at the time. That's crazy. God, that's so weird. I think somebody had a fight over there, but that's all our parking. It's a boys club. Let's get used to that. Yeah, so then yeah, there's a nice fight right here, but yeah, over there in that corner, which you probably can't see, but up there in that corner, used to play dice in the junior high, which again was originally the high school, became the junior high. So this wasn't here. This wasn't here. This is all new. This is the old field house. And this is the old high school gym right here. This is the old field house. Wow, look at the old football field. We'll have to get out and check that out. And this old locker room, weight room, track, obviously, where we have our track meets. Yeah, so that's the weight room. Wow, crazy. And that's where the discus and shot put area was. On that mat thing right there used to be a nice big mat for the pole vault, or not the pole vault, but the high jump or whatever it was. We played practice football over there. And like I said, that's the weight room, locker room. And there you go. So let's go check it out. Bulldog walk. So we'd come out of this locker room, then we'd walk the steps. Oh, look at that. Still here. That's cool. Then we, like I said, we do the Bulldog walk, so they used to have, these are obviously all a lot nicer done. Then we'd step down, and all the paw prints had all our old, this old scoreboard still here, but we do the, they would all have our numbers. So you can still kind of see the black from the numbers that they would put on them. That's the old field. And let's all finish walking the walk here. Don't remember that concession stand? No, yes I do. Because the field was, okay, yeah. And then we'd come through the little, we had just like a tearaway banner. I think now they've got like a big blow up thing. Wow, crazy. And then that was our old practice field, which was never that green. ever was it ever that green. And we turn, come in here, and here come the Bulldogs. And then obviously when we were younger, before we played, we'd be under here underneath the bleachers. You know, doing whatever. It was more like Rocky type stuff here. Look at this. So weird. Cool, but really weird. Let's walk up the bleachers one last time. Remember being up here watching us beat Wiley 17-7. The historic, I guess you could call it historic thing. And then there used to be, ooh, these things are just like barely holding on. You can tell nobody comes out here anymore. Woo, sketchy. The band was down here. There's a band played right here. But yeah, there used to be a field house right over there, which obviously isn't there anymore. That was the locker room for the junior high to change and play in. Come on now. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Again, the old boys restroom, athletic boosters. And this was, like I said, this was our old practice field back here. And this was rough. This was all clay, rock hard clay. Especially by the time we got really going, and practice after practice after practice, and then it was all just rock hard. Which, it's been raining pretty good here now, so it's not like that. Very nice, very cool. Definitely feels good to be back here. I'm just checking it all out. A lot of memories, a lot of memories. This piece of the old thing up top, I'm sure. Surprised this isn't like really like roped off for safety, but the lights and stuff are all still there. Friday Night Lights. All right. Guess it's time to get back in the old car and cruise on to the next location. Clyde High School. Bulldog Stadium. That used to be a donut shop. Of course, the feed store is still a feed store. It's good to see. And right behind the feed store should be one of my old places. One of my old houses. I think the last house that I actually had here in Clyde. Let's see here. Should be right here with the porta potty out front. No, that's not the one. Just an empty lot, but yep, that's it right there. That's the old house right there. My room was on the back side. To the right was my old house. And then we also, you know, I just remembered, we also lived over here? Question mark? I want to say it was somewhere over here, but I'd have to drive around to find it. But I want to say there was one more place we lived over here for a little bit, but I don't seem to recognize anything. But there was definitely one more, but I don't remember where. So that's my brain for you. All right, here's the old pharmacy, still here. Old bank, still here. May have changed names, but that's what it was. And then my first official job was right here at the grocery store. It was a different name by then, but let's go inside and check it out. So that was the old video store. Rave Finds and Coffee now, but yeah, this was the IGA supermarket. And yeah, check it out. Yep, right there. And then the bathrooms are right here. I used to get my club sandwiches. right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, I gotta go over here and do this. Alright, let's see if the bread's still over here. No, they moved it. So the bread used to be here. Because I was in charge of, I was a bag boy, but I was in charge of stocking milk, eggs, and bread. And then obviously like sweeping the floor. So milk is still here. Eggs were here, yep. Eggs right here, so you had to come in, reach from the bag, pull them to the bag, stack them up here in the front. And then the unloading area was right here to the left. Push doors. Are the same exact doors from 20 years ago. Hanging out still. But, yeah, there you go. This is actually kind of really cool. Like, this wasn't really even on my list, but I had to go pee, so. But just to be back in here, very, very strange. Right over there is where I get my checks, making $4.75 an hour. Maybe enough to walk over there and get a movie, which also I think, yeah, they also had a tanning bed in there. So you get your movie, you get your tanning on. We're masters of making it work, I guess. Alright, let's go to the next stop. I would go from this house right here, which is one of my old houses, and walk through that field to get there. This used to be, is it this one or the one next to it? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was this one. It used to be a Dairy Queen. And every Friday after the football games, that's where everybody would meet up and hang out post football games. Usually celebrating a loss, but either way, it was still a good time. And I guess we have, this was definitely not here. This was just a big open parking lot. I don't know why they do that. Why can't you just drive through the parking lot, but whatever. So yeah, home of the Bulldog Fries. Alright. This was here. It was like a realtor agency, I think, was what that was. And then of course, my Allsups. Definitely gonna have to go there. It's still a little early for breakfast burritos though. And then the old house right there. Used to box in there, and my room was right here on the end. That was my room right there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's see, you can cut across. It's hard trying to figure out where everything is, everything was. Let me go and see a couple places I used to visit. Let's see if we can find those places. The old, there's a thrift store in there? Tempting, tempting. The old fire department, which I think is now a pizza place, yeah. So this was the old volunteer fire department. Maybe it still is in some form, but I doubt it. I'm sure they've kind of upgraded. But apparently now that is Pizza House, which used to be over there kind of by where that Allsups was on the other side of it. And then come across here, all the railroad tracks. And this used to be Howell's Country Store, so you used to walk over here. In fact, I have something just for this location that I had to do. But we used to walk from the school, and we'd come through the back here and get our cup of noodles, because they were like 25 cents, so we'd come get, or 50 cents maybe, and get our cup of noodles, our Dr. Peppers, and things like that. Also, what we would get, let's see if we can find the mystery item down here. There it is. It's still full. Is the Element drinks. I have a cold crotch, but that's okay. So we used to get Snapple, the Elements, the Rain, and stuff like that, which you can see over there in Manland if you ever are so inclined. But I'm gonna go ahead and crack open the new version, which they just discontinued, so that's sad. And light and refreshing. Have a Snapple rain like the old days. In the old parking lot of what used to be Hal's Country Store, now is Clyde's One Stop. Shame, shame. And over here, spent some not misplaced youth time, but this was the old, I mean, it still is, the old Baptist church here. So, it's a normal church area there. The youth building was over there. We'd have Sunday school in there, and then up top, so there's like a basketball court and stuff in there, and then on the second level is where all the youth room events and stuff were. I remember getting in trouble for bringing Kid Rock CD. I had my CD player or something like that, and I brought it. I got in trouble for it because that was the devil's music. Ball with the ball, da bang, diggity. It's too much for the old First Baptist Church of Clyde to handle. But had a lot of good times, a lot of good youth trips there. Just obviously got a little older and got out of all that. But now we're gonna go down here. Let's go down here. This is where Sean and Brooke Discern lived down here. Old cemetery. Actually done a nice job of kind of fixing it up. It looks a little better than it used to. Here's a funny story. I remember driving down this road, coming back from somebody's house, and it was in my old Camaro, and that thing was always a hunk of junk, but I screwed up as a kid, checked the oil or did something, closed the hood, didn't close it good enough, driving down the road, boom, hood popped up like right here, and I had to pull off to the side of the road because my hood was up and bent and all sorts of just bad stuff. So I'm not sure what road it is. May have already passed it, so we'll pay attention. I think it was one of these towns. I think it's one further back, Sean's, and then I think Brooks was up here. And I'm trying to remember where Chris's house is. That one's. I want to say it's down this road to the right, but I just don't remember 100%. So, well, good thing we have time to drive around. All right, it's that time. It's time for an all sauce burrito. All right, time has come. Beef and bean burrito. Good old taco sauce. Let's see if it lives up to their memories. Spoiler, I don't think that it will, but, you know. Get that sauce on there. First bite, going in. Oh my God, it's so wrong. Oh, it's so wrong. Wow. So damn good. Holy crap. Even had to buy an all-such cup. Considering it's not really souvenirs, for a place like Abilene, Clyde, Texas is really not like. I went to Abilene, Texas, and all I got was a burrito kind of thing. So, another one in. Wow. So, lived up to the hype, the memory, much better than like Rose's did. Hopefully Taco Bueno can come close to this, but I'm not gonna hold up hope on that one. Alright. Enough me eating. Back on the road. that's crazy. They put houses next to the football field. So that's the new football field back there. We'll try to drive around in there if it's possible. I don't know. Let's see it, but that's all completely new for me. These weren't here. They were back there, yeah. So I think these are all new. And then here's the intermediate school. So this was kind of like, this was what, 6? I think this was the final grade of 6 was in here. This is where I started. Oh, jump cut. Messed up on the recording, so I'm over here at the high school now. I'll go back to the intermediate here in just a minute, but yeah, so back here, that's the old weight room / locker room. And then I think out here is where we used to practice, so like maybe even like literally like right here. It's kind of that area, because like I said, none of this, or I was saying before, like none of this was here. None of that. No infrastructure at all. Just crazy that all that is there now. So none of that was there. Even a lot of this school, like the second, I'm guessing this is a second story that they added on here, that wasn't there. The side entrance here wasn't there. There's all new stuff there, so very, very strange, very different. I mean, a lot of the stuff is still the same, but a lot of the stuff's not. The maintenance is out here getting their work done. Get on them. This is the old ag building here, so we used to come out that door right there, and that was the choir room right there, and the band room was right there. So this was the weight room / locker room. Locker room's on the left side. Weight room was there on the right side. So you come get all big and strong during the summer, come park up here and work out and get ready for 2-a-days. This led to the that was the basketball, and then a lot of the coaches' offices were right there. I guess funny story I gotta tell again was when they were building the school, me and a couple of guys came over here, right around this area right here where they were doing construction, and took a pee. Took a pee right over there. Marking our territory, but not the most mature thing to do, but hey, I think at that point we were probably 15, 16 at best. And yeah, I think we were the first, I want to say we were the first to graduate with a full senior year here. The grade before us graduated from here, but we were the first that was the whole entire senior year was here, because I think they came in midway through their senior year. But yeah, I mean, all these windows used to be open, but of course now with the world, they got to change things up a little bit, so it's kind of unfortunate, but that's just the way the world is now, and more of the bulldog prints going on here. So that's cool. Old softball fields, which I don't know if they use those. Maybe they use them for junior high or something now. And I think my parking spot was the 3rd row back there, towards the back. And yeah, we used to peel out of here. I'm surprised there's not a ton of burnout marks, honestly. Lyle's house is down that road, so is Clint's. But back to the intermediate that I ended the video like right here somehow, some way. Don't know how that happened, but we did. But yeah, so this was my first stop into Clyde, was here at the intermediate school. 6th grade, I do believe. Rolled into the old intermediate school rocking a Bill Goldberg shirt. I was still pretty hardcore into wrestling even at 6th grade, but nobody here really liked wrestling. So that was kind of an awakening, and I definitely didn't rock the Bulldog shirt or the Goldberg shirts anymore after that. Kind of got the idea that they had moved on from wrestling at that point in there. And it was time for me to move on too. Until now I'm a 30-something-year-old man. And, But anyhow, so this was the cafeteria. I'm pretty sure it was right here on the, I want to say it's right there, but I could be wrong. Maybe there or there. But anyhow, and then the bus line was right here. This is where you get dropped off and wait. This fence wasn't here. Again, the world. And then I remember thinking how huge that building was back when I was a kid. But that's the gym. Old Nate Dogg used to hit the punt the footballs up there and get them stuck on the roof. That was kind of his thing, was to do that for us. Now I think I'm gonna head back into Abilene. I think I got all my Clyde visits done and everything I wanted to see. Finish that up by 12 o'clock, so plenty of time still to check out Abilene and do some more of that tomorrow. Kind of take it easy, kind of recover a little bit. And I got a pretty busy weekend ahead of me in Dallas, so no reason to overdo it. But yeah, fun time at the home of the Bulldogs. It's time to get down to business. Old stomping grounds. A little drinky period here. I want to say there used to be booths here. Pretty positive that used to be booths. They weren't these high tops here. Well, I guess that's a little different. But time. Now we wait. Eat. About as glamorous as I remember. One with the Mexi dip and chip, Chaco, and of course, come on now, every poor high school kid's go-to party burrito. So let's see if I should forget to get the tomatoes. That's on me. All right, get out of here, tomatoes. Get out of here, tomatoes. Come on. That hasn't changed. I still do not like maters. Right. Get that back in there. See if it's what I remember. Yeah, that's a thumbs up. Oh yeah. Beautiful. They always have a guac. I don't know if I remember them having a guac. Maybe it was an extra charge. Probably still is an extra charge, but you know, here you go. Tastes like cheese and beans. Speaking of cheese and beans, the old party burrito, gotta always bring the cheese down to, or the beans down to the tip. Dip, dip, dip. Oh yeah, this is great. Much better than Rose's. Alright, gonna dig in and on to the next thing. That's old Abilene, huh? Yeah, looks like they added a big old new gym to it. Well, that's pretty cool. Right now we are heading to one of my old houses here in Abilene. I can't remember the other one or where it is. So that was just gonna have to be lost in the old memory banks, but that was not even 10 at that point when I lived there, so I definitely can't remember that one. This one I have a pretty decent idea of where it is and some fun stuff around it, so we're gonna go and check it out. Now I do know that that old house was somewhere down there, because I remember coming out and watching some of these Little League football games over here as a kid, but where it is after that, no idea. Alright, coming up on where it should be. Now this creek, we definitely had some fun in it, but I think we were back here, but we'll find that in a little bit. Definitely gonna go over here. It's my old elementary school, so we'll definitely check that out. I don't know how close or whatever we can get to it, but definitely check that out. And apparently Ballinger Street. Okay, so this should be the street. As you can see, it's not the greatest neighborhood. Wasn't then, but I think there was some pretty decent people. Wasn't that house for sure. I'm not even 100% sure this is the right street, but I think it is. I think it is. Where is... I think that's the house. I think that's it. I think that's the house. Yeah, that's the house. Yeah, positive. That's the house. So they've added a front porch. It used to be, we had a bay window. We'll come back around to it. And then down here is where my friend Timothy lived. So we would, obviously I'd come spend the night with him. And little Timothy's old house right there. He had a Sega, so we would come and play some video games and stuff and rent them from the store. And hang out there. I think his room was right there at that window too. And then the fun stuff, we'd come down here to this creek. And this is where we had all our fun. Is down here in this creek. Well, actually down that alley. I'll share that story here in just a minute. As a kid. But yeah, this looks rough now. Woo! Of course, it's massively overgrown now. We'll get out here. I'm strapped, so we'll be okay. Alright, stop right here and go check this out. Yeah, so we'd come down here, I mean, like every single day. And especially, and it was a lot lower back then. A lot of this was cleared out. But yeah, it was always a lot lower, generally, during the summers. And we would make little, not moats, but like dams with the rocks and stuff. And then we'd come underneath here, and there was always spray paint done down there. And we'd just mess around and see all the creepy stuff that we would think was crazy cool. But of course, this seemed a lot bigger back then than it is now. But yeah, pretty cool. We like never would go over there for whatever reason. It was always just right here. We would hang out at this creek. Lots and lots of days spent here. I know it looks, because all this wasn't here. We had it cleared out. It was just rocks and a tiny little stream down the middle. But not anymore. Crossing over now. Neighborhood definitely isn't what it was. It wasn't ever like a great neighborhood, but it definitely was a lot better than it is right now. But yeah, so this alleyway is where I had my first kiss. Yep, right down there. Rode bikes around in circles and would stop, kiss, ride off, stop, kiss, ride off. And that was the excitement there for that. I'm gonna pass back by here and take a picture for old Madre. See, they still have the same trash cans. I guess whoever made that contract made a good deal. Old Ballinger Street. They used to throw, was it over here or right here? Used to throw some crazy parties. It's not so much anymore, huh? Yeah. And that used to be, we had an apartment. We had that as an apartment. So, alright, let me get that picture. Alright, so then, obviously, when we weren't in summer hanging out under the creek, we had to go to school. So, school was just a quick walk right down here. And this has always been, this looks exactly the same. Trees, benches, those old concrete things, and then this has always been here. Remember, I got nut shotted right here one time. That was traumatic. buckled me over like right here. Yeah. So then we'd walk across that and yeah, head up to the school, which looks like, yeah, the playground's not there anymore. So that's a bummer. Because that playground had my handprints in it. And I came back, I think the last time I was back before I deployed, I came and checked it out, and it was still there, but obviously it's not there anymore. Yeah. Crazy. Well, maybe we'll go check it out. Come on, get some steps in, huh? Alright, taking a quick walk. Yeah, this wasn't here. This was always just like a flat get to there. But you can tell over here, they clearly have changed the water patterns here, which is why that flows down to the creek that we were just at. And obviously that's changed it up quite a bit. I might drive over there and see. No one's there that I wouldn't mind walking around the school, but obviously I don't think I can probably get across somewhere over there, but it's not worth getting my feet all wet and yucked up. So we'll go check it out. But yeah, I used to come from all the way over there and walk to school, and that was cool. None of this stuff that you see right here on the bottom was there. It was just a little playground over there. That's the cafeteria, that big building, but we'll see if we get closer to it. Alright, so this is the front side of what used to be Crockett Elementary. I want to say it's like a preschool or something now. Definitely all these windows are new. We used to have just either AC units or nothing. None of this playground stuff was here. This was all just pick up and drop off area. And then the main office, I'm pretty sure, was straight through there. Well, good on them for keeping it open. Yep, David Crockett Early Head Start. So they did keep the name. Of course, it wasn't Head Start back then, but look at there. There you go. David Crockett. They kept it. That's nice. I want to say the last time I was here, it was maybe privately owned or something. Crockett School. Look at there. An award-winning school. That sign's been here so long. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. For sure. Award-winning school, Crockett Elementary. I'm pretty sure on the other side of that building, there's a Slotsky's. So my mom is sassy and cranky because she couldn't get Slotsky's, but it's over there. But it's disgusting, so we're not gonna go there. And then what do we got over here? Yeah, so like I was saying, this is the old cafeteria, and then the old playground was literally right. Oh, you know what? It looks like the concrete's still there. I'm going to go check that out. I got a second. Let's go check it out. Hopefully not interrupt whoever that is. I'll be damned, it's still here. All our names in there. I think that's me. Yeah. BKE. Look at that. Remember, it was over here. I think my hands changed a little bit. Just a little bit, huh? Yeah, and the playground was right here. Obviously not here anymore. Those were all windows, obviously. There's a bathroom on the other side of that. We'd always try to do wrestling moves on each other. That's crazy. BKE. Doing BKE things. And the rest of my classmates. No clue. Wouldn't have any idea how to actually interpret them, but at least I knew the general area where it was, but that's really cool. Very neat. And then for old giggle's sakes, I decided to swing on by the old college campus here at McMurray University. Spent a solid semester here. That's the old dining hall, I'm pretty sure. And the dorms were back here. We'll see if we can drive around and find those. But yeah, wasn't just kind of came here to come here, I think. Just a place to live, really. Wasn't quite ready for school. That came after the Army. That was the plan there. But I guess they got upgraded their stadium a little bit over time. But we'll go see if we can find the old dorm room. Did have some fun in there, at least. Where the stadium looks like they're putting down some new turf. Should be right up here on the right. That's where the old dorms were. And yep, okay, so you can't get back there. Looks like they have it all blocked off for some weird reason. But yeah, right in there. That's my old dorms. Room was over there to the right, on the far right side over here. Yep. Like I said, just a semester. Nothing too exciting really there, but it was a part of the end adventures, I guess, of my time here in Abilene. But let's get going. Maybe it's about time we head on over to the mall and check it out. We definitely had some good times at that mall, that's for sure. Definitely had a job at that mall, in fact, so we'll check it out. All right. This is either going to be really good, really bad, maybe somewhere in the middle, but try an old Mr. Getty's pizza. All right, made it in. The main reason to come in, of course, is the chocolate chip cookies, which I'm going to have to get some new ones of those. My first time in 20 years is not going to be one that's been left out all that time. That is for sure, but get on in here, tear up the buffet. All right, got a little action here, and waiting for the chocolate chip pizza, and have a good old time here at Mr. Getty's. And the main reason for the visit, the chocolate chip cookies. Looks terrible, I know, but kind of the reason for the visit. So give it a shot. It's like a greasy, oily chocolate chip cookie. So, about right. Alright, and then the reason that most people come to Mr. Getty's, well, at least as a kid, is of course the game room. Any kind of church, school, fundraising type thing was definitely done here. So, obviously, most of the games aren't going to be the same, if any. Having a game from 20 years ago would be pretty impressive, right? I don't know if it was here. Had to have been in here. So in here they used to have a roller coaster, and this was a walled off. In fact, you might still kind of be able to see the wall line right there. It used to be a roller coaster. Now it's one of these weird old crappy bowling alley things. But yeah, it used to be that, and then laser tag. It was also laser tag. So a big portion of this was a laser tag room. So I think it was roller coaster, then laser tag. I could be wrong on that. Yep. Yeah, pretty cool. Definitely kind of is the same. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot more. So there's a. This is a quicker one. Maybe they refurbished it. I don't know. I feel like the other one was bigger. I don't know. But it definitely used to be over there. 100%. I know that for a fact. But so this could be the roller coaster, but it was pretty actually intense. This was here. So this has been here for quite a while now. Little bumper carts. But everything's just so small, you know, for that area. Very small. But alright, well, got done with my ultra mid pizza and got done with the chocolate chip, but definitely did not live up to the memories, but fun all the same. Glad to check it off. Don't ever have to do it again, unless I make it to our 50th year graduating, whatever, 50-year reunion, and this place still exists, then I'll come and have some more chocolate chip. Otherwise, I think this will be the last time I visit here, but fun and worth it at the end. Alright, gonna finish up the reunion, I guess, tour, or whatever they call it. Then check out the old Mall of Abilene, have some burgers. Don't know if it was always a burger place, but definitely it was always a restaurant here. Movie theater, definitely had always been here. So pretty cool there. Let's go see if the arcade is still here. Popcorn. No popcorn. Movie theater. And this was the arcade right here. Now showing. Oh, okay, it's probably just a continuation. Built a little wall. Wow, back at the Abilene Mall. Wow. Sure, it's all sorts of weird and different. Actually, I know it's weird and different. There's like a hospital, distribution center in here now. But I think that probably took over most of the mall itself. And as much as I was at the mall, I wasn't at the mall an absolute metric ton. So it may tell me what I'll actually remember and where it actually was, but you know, check it out. You know, let's just stay on for this. This is pretty cool. Small shop. Victoria's Secret, I'm sure, has probably been here the entire time. Victoria's Secret is one of those places that doesn't really move around, so high probability that that's been here since Moby Dick was a minnow. Candy store. Definitely wasn't there. What do I have, like Spencer's? Spencer's would be one that would have been here the whole time too. Man cave. Swords and axes and random weird signs. Okay, well, there you go. Pro Image Sports. Might have been there. Maybe not, I don't know. Let's go to the food court. Dante's Pizza. Something makes me think that has been here. I want to say that's been here. Uncle BJ, you might have to fact check me on that one if you're watching this. I want to say that's been here. There's the Hendrix. Little store. Alright, so we're going to make a little loop here. Oh, we've got Glow Golf. We've got Annie Pretzels. Just hitting all the notes here. Glow in the dark. Mini golf. And Annie Ann's. What else do you need really in them all? Kind of sets the tone, doesn't it? Alright, I'm going to take a little break here. Oh, wait, hold on. El Chico? I'm about to go to El Chico's. Oh, it looks like El Chico's. Sure is. The little sign out front. Yeah, look at there. El Chico's still holding in strong. Last time we ate right there. El Chico's. Nothing says class and sophistication like the El Chico's Mall of Abilene, that's for sure. Alright. American Eagle. Another one of those things probably has been here forever. This is probably, what, Hollister originally? I'm judging by the outside. I guess now it's the Kangaroo Arcade or something. It's an interesting use of space for that. Hot Topic. Rick's Collectibles. Which I want to say has been there. I got Entertainment Mart, Rick's Collectibles. We'll probably have to check that out. I thought Rick's Collectibles used to be like a sports store. Oh, good old Spencer. Spencer's is still here. Yeah, Yeah, see, I think I said it would probably be depressing being in here, and I don't really feel that. I don't think it's depressing. I think it's actually has a little more life to it than I expected, I think. So that's cool. Oh, the old NASA rocket. Dude, I think this thing's been here the whole time. It probably hasn't. I'm sure it's just another newer iteration of it, but it's pretty cool. The giant squishmallows. $2 for play, no refunds. No refunds. Let's see what else we got. We got a public library. Okay. It's an interesting thing there. The chocolate box. I'm sure Dubai chocolate is a big thing there. The Big Country Athletic Hall of Fame. I'm featured big time in here. No big deal. Just me being me, you know how that is. Okay, maybe not, but we got a pennies. Alright, well, I think now that we have made our way around and seen Clyde, we've seen Abilene. The rest of the trip is going to be in Dallas, and nothing really memory-wise there to check out. So I think that's going to be it for the my memories part of the trip. So I guess that's going to be it. For anybody that's watching, you must like me a little bit, so love you back. To the wifey, love you. To Haley K, Catherine Marie, Riker, and Connor, love you guys. And I'll be home soon. See you later.